Hi and welcome to today's project. Today I'm going to make a canvas which is approximately 10 by 8 inches, and we will be using the Mail Art Journaling Mixed Media Ephemera kit which I released last week on the website. As promised, I did say I would do a little project with it, wanting to keep in mind that I wanted this kit to be the sort of kit that you could use for anything, be it cards, scrapbooking, journaling, mixed media. So my project is a mixed media project, but as I go through the project I will explain kind of ways that you could make this a scrapbook page, or you could use some of these elements and make a card or a tag. I will make a couple of other projects which I probably won't film just for time purposes, but I will put some photos so that you can see a few other cute ideas that you could make with the supplies in this kit. Some of the products that I'll be using to create this canvas won't be products that are in your kit. They are products, however, that you can find either at your local Spotlight, or you can find them in the store. I always carry a range of sprays and inks and paints in the store, as well as I'm using in particular golden soft gel medium for this project. Otherwise, if you were to make this a scrapbooking page, you could just coat it with any sort of glue underneath. Okay, so the first part is going to be creating a background, and I've sort of got the idea to do a bit of a sky and grass scene on this particular project. So I'll just go ahead and do this, and we'll see you back soon. So you would have had in your kit some of these vintage music papers, and I'm noticing that there's something on my brush here, but I'm not going to bother with it because I will be painting over this. You probably won't see, but I'm not sure what was in it. Probably some dried paint. Yeah, so anyway, you would have got some music paper and vintage writing paper, book print, so that's always great to just you can often find that in op shops or thrift stores, and even like fair sales and so forth. Always good to grab those 50-cent books. You never know what you might use it for. So now, if you were doing this in the form of a scrapbooking project, a scrapbooking page, you could just maybe cut these rather than rip them, or you could rip them. You could do it on a big white piece of 12 by 12 and create like a little scene and then pop your photo on top. That's all coated at this stage, and we're just going to let that dry. So I'll be back in a minute. I forgot to add that I really like this tissue paper with the words on it. Because it's see-through though, I didn't want to put it directly on the canvas because then you kind of see the white of the canvas. So now that the canvas is still a little bit wet, I'm just going to pop a couple of pieces on it just to give it a bit more dimension. Okay, so this is all dried now, and what I'm going to do is coat the papers with some paint. Okay, so basically you just want to grab your paint and just scrape. So I'm sort of doing the bottom more of a green colour, so you can see, with bits of white in there just to tone it down a bit. Okay, and then the top, I'll just put a little bit more white. So I'm trying to do a bit of a sky sort of sky and grass scene. Now I don't want to lose that turquoise that I've got there, so I'm just going to get a bit of, I'm going to put some directly, oh that was a bit much, onto the canvas, and just spread that around. A little bit too much, because we still want to see a bit of that paper texture coming through, and just take a bit of the excess off. Would create a couple of cute little flowers just sort of coming across this green garden area. So before we put those elements on, what we need to do is just create a little bit more texture, which is optional. Now I guess if you were doing this on a scrapbooking page, you could follow exactly all of my ideas, what I've sort of done here. You can put paint and so forth as well. In each of your kits you will get a stamp, and I'm assuming you'll all have an ink pad, hopefully a black one if you have. If not, you could use any colour really. Just to add some, I won't actually use this particular stamp because I've got my own honeycomb pattern that I've already got open, so I won't open another one, but each of you will receive this one. Okay, it's a good idea to use a permanent ink pad if you've got one. That way, you know, if you put sprays or any other things on there, they won't come off. Okay, so this is my my stamp, which you can see is quite similar. So just okay, another technique I wanted to show you as well, and each of you will get a little piece of this. This is shelf liner. So also, aside from all the stencils and stamps that you can buy, there's lots of things that you can use to create interest on your pages and on your canvases and so forth. So this one's a great one, and you can get it from like $2 shops or even Daiso, any of those sorts of places. Just to give you an example. So you're not really seeing much of that, but if I push, if it was on a white background, just to show you, you can see the cute pattern that it's made there. I'll just try and zoom in so you can have a look. Is to grab a paint colour and just paint over the shelf lining, and then use it as a stamp. So that's another cute idea too. So great value, and you get a couple of different effects. Whether it works this way too, which I haven't tried before. Oh, there you go. Well, that's pretty cute. I'll show you close up. So that's another technique you can do, is just get some paint and try and get a brush that's got like a hard bristle on it. That actually looks really cute. I sell lots of rolls of twine, and so I often have these little cylinders left over. So another great use for those is to use them as stamps. And even dabbing them in the paint is another idea. Okay, so they're just a couple of ideas to show you how to create texture. There's probably, you know, like another 50 different ways that I could show you, but I'm not going to do it all in this one video. I just wanted to give you a bit of an idea of how to create interest if you don't have all the supplies that I have on hand. Okay, so I'm back. Alright, so this part is just really playing around with different shapes. And what I thought I would do is use this shape here, which you'll actually get a couple of round ones in your kit already cut, so you can always use these. And I'm just sort of edging it with a bit of the white paint, gives them some dimension. And then I wanted to coat this with a bit of paint as well, just using the turquoise. You could use a brush for this. So just really playing around with the supplies in your kit. And I like the idea that when you've got perfect circles, it's nice to scrunch them up too, just to give them a bit of that sort of, even though we're going to eventually use the gel medium to put them down, it just roughens them up a bit so that they just look a bit more real. I'll just put a bit of the white on that too. Okay, so I might start with that. I might place them all first, that way I know kind of roughly where they're going. Sort of playing around with ideas. Actually, it looks good on the, I'll just come in a bit closer so you can see what I'm doing here. Actually I quite like that. I think it looks cute. You could even use the hot glue gun for that, but we'll just see if it stays there. To add a bit of white to that one. Might put a bit of fluoro. Okay, so I'm back. This has actually taken place over 2 days because I couldn't get it finished yesterday. You'll notice that I've put in a rub-on, which is also in the kits, which says life reveals her beauty, one precious miracle at a time. So I just thought that went really well with the canvas. So the final thing left to do with this particular canvas is to go around and highlight all the areas just to make them stand out a bit more. So I sort of started there, but basically I'm using the food ball pen, but if you've got a Sharpie or a good marker, although Sharpies won't be permanent, so if you can have a marker that's permanent. And I do need to put a centre on that flower, I just realised. Okay. Then I sort of like to add, I'll zoom out a bit now, some little doodles. You could also use rub-ons on this. I will demonstrate a rub-on just to show you. You could really use your fingers for this, but I'll just try and... Most of them come with like an icy pole stick so that you can rub the rub-ons into your work. So it just sort of creates a little bit of texture there. So see how it just sort of changes the look of the canvas. Okay, that's enough. I just wanted to give you an idea of that. The other thing I need to highlight as well, which I've nearly missed, is the banner. So the final touch that I would probably make to this is just to go around the edges of the canvas with just an ink pad or black paint if you don't have an ink pad, just to sort of frames the canvas and just ties everything in together. Okay, done. So I'll just zoom out so you can see the whole thing. So that's it, that's the finished product. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you sort of get inspired to create something. And once again, there's a couple of kits left in stock, so please feel free to head over to the DIY scrapbooking department and to grab yourself a kit. And of course, if the kits sell out, there's always, most of these supplies are in the store to create something like this. Okay, I hope you have a go, because I'd love to know that I inspired you to do something. Okay, have a great day. Bye.